Next on Worcester News Tonight, we hear from the Central Massachusetts homeowner who was attacked in a violent home invasion. Plus, an uptick in graffiti prompts action from city officials. We'll have the details. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Andrioli. Two men are sentenced today after being found guilty of a violent home invasion back in 2014. The two were arrested after breaking into a Leicester home and stealing a veteran's Purple Heart that still remains missing. Our Rosalind Flaherty was in court today and has the latest.
Two men found guilty of a violent home invasion appear in Worcester Superior Court Wednesday. One of the men, Nicholas DeSterio, was friendly with the homeowner. Victor Taylor says he took DeSterio in, finding him an apartment and helping him out financially.
Nicholas, I pulled out of the gutter. Literally. I semi-adopted him in my heart.
DeSterio was convicted for his part in a home invasion at Taylor's home where he, his daughter, and her boyfriend were bound and gagged.
For him to turn on me, it depressed me. I can handle the loss of the money. I can handle everything, except why do people do this?
A judge sentenced DeSterio and Timothy Lavin for the 2014 home invasion in Leicester. Prosecutors say Taylor's father's Purple Heart from World War II, cash, and jewelry were stolen.
And that freedom that my father fought for was violated when they came into my house with guns.
I'm really sorry for what happened to their family.
Prosecutors say Lavin and another man broke into Taylor's home. DeSterio, a former employee of Taylor's, planned the invasion and was the getaway driver.
Every noise, every car that drives by, you look and see, is there somebody coming to do bodily harm? I understand society is rolling that way, and I'll just have to live with it.
Timothy Lavin was sentenced to 20 to 22 years in prison for the home invasion, and DeSterio was sentenced to 10 to 12 years for armed robbery while masked.
This has been a long, hard road for all of the people involved, but today makes it worthwhile when you see the sentences that we received. These are dangerous people, and they're off the street.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
The city of Worcester is cracking down on a recent uptick in graffiti around the city after an increase of vandalism in businesses and neighborhoods in the past several weeks. City manager Ed Augustus says the city has zero tolerance for the defacement of public or private property. The city manager's office says the area of Canterbury Street has had many incidents of graffiti tagging recently. The area is currently the site of redevelopment of the Worcester Railers ice hockey facility. Augustus tells us graffiti is unsightly for Worcester's image and police are investigating.
Vandals didn't kind of diminish some of the momentum that we have going on in the city and some of the redevelopment. And unfortunately, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen a kind of a renewed number of taggings and graffiti markings on buildings, on fences. We're going to be very serious and very aggressive about this, and the police department are in the middle of an investigation now on this, and we're really calling on citizens to let us know when they see these markings.
And the city is asking residents to report any incidents of graffiti that they see to the Worcester Police Department. The suspect in a 2014 Worcester shooting has been added to the state police list of most wanted fugitives. 29-year-old Victor Kelly is wanted on several charges. He allegedly shot a man multiple times outside the Diamond Inn in October 2014. Kelly lived in Worcester at the time. He has ties to Maryland. Anyone with information is asked to contact state police. Last night, President Trump gave his first address to Congress. He defended his policies while outlining his agenda. The president touched on immigration reform, saying his revised travel ban will keep America safe. And tonight we're hearing from a local doctor who was invited to attend the president's speech. He was born in Iran and says he's worried about the President Trump's travel ban and how it may affect him. Olivia Lemon has the story.
I was, to a sense, pleasantly surprised to hear some positivity and some reaching across the aisle.
Dr. Babak Movahedi is a nationally ranked transplant surgeon at UMass Memorial Medical Center. Tuesday night, he was Congressman Jim McGovern's guest for President Trump's address to a joint session of Congress.
The tone was much more positive.
I am here tonight to deliver a message of unity and strength, and it is a message deeply delivered from my heart.
A big issue Dr. Movahedi says the president didn't spend enough time on was his travel ban. Dr. Movahedi was born in Iran. He and his family left as refugees when he was 14 years old, moving to Belgium. Now he's worried how the ban will impact some of his family who still live overseas.
I was hoping to go and visit my mom this summer. We'd actually planned to do that, but we're now holding off to making any arrangements because nobody can say for sure what will happen.
He says he hopes President Trump rethinks his proposed immigration policies.
Large majority of immigrants are hardworking, honest people that want to pay their fair share and contribute to this society.
Tuesday night, President Trump talked about how the middle class has suffered in the United States as the government has focused more on foreign countries.
America must put its own citizens first, because only then can we truly make America great again.
Meanwhile, Dr. Movahedi says his wife and kids are already U.S. citizens. He has his green card and is eligible to apply for his U.S. citizenship this November.
The first day that I'm eligible, I'll be standing there with my application.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Old Sturbridge Village will open a new charter school in the fall after being approved by the state earlier this week. Old Sturbridge Academy Charter Public School will start out as kindergarten through 3rd grade with plans to expand eventually kindergarten through 8th grade. OSV says they will use a lottery system to determine which student applications will attend school. In addition to selecting students, OSV will now start hiring staff and finalizing plans to determine where the school will be located in the village.
Using a lot of time leading up to the approval to make sure that we were ready for that. But we have a team in place that's ready to take on this responsibility, and we feel confident that we'll be able to open the school successfully at the end of August.
160 students will be selected from a lottery system on Saturday. In addition to the OSV, the state board also approved charter schools in Hampton and Plymouth. The beginning of March means we're only a few weeks away from the official start of spring, and it's certainly feeling like it today with unseasonably warm temperatures. Our Andy Madison has a look at the forecast.
In Westboro, Yeoman's Ice Cream is open for business.
I come here every year on opening day, and I now started dragging the people I work with. But I've been coming to Yeoman's pretty much since it opened.
The ice cream stand opening for the season on a warm spring-like day.
Happy opening day. Yes.
And a warm reception for folks in line to get ice cream.
We used to aim for St. Patrick's Day, but then a couple years back it was 80 degrees on March 1st, and we opened, and once you do March 1st, there's no going back.
It's a perfect day for it. I was so glad that it didn't rain. This is awesome.
Not much rain, and more importantly, no snow. The mild winter helping bring in seasonal businesses out of the cold a little earlier than expected. At Green Hill Park, people can tee it up on the golf course starting this Sunday.
We would have loved to have opened last weekend when the weather was so nice, but we still had snow cover. And so we had to let that melt away and let it kind of seep off the ground.
For Central Massachusetts, the last 2 weeks have been a great time to be outside. Winter could make one last gasp in these next couple of weeks. But for now, the weather is serving as a sign spring is not too far away.
Winter in New England drives me crazy, just because usually you're stuck inside, it's always dark, but summer you just think of sunshine and being outside and obviously coming out for ice cream.
Vacation's definitely over. It's back to 7 days a week.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
And here's a look at the sunset over Lake Quinsigamond earlier tonight, which was frozen over just a week ago. A beautiful day out there with warm temperatures making it feel like spring. We'll have more on the forecast coming up in a few minutes. March 1st marks the first day of Lent, also known as Ash Wednesday, which comes 40 calendar days before Easter on the Christian calendar. Christians who observe Lent often use it as a time of prayer and penance. Many attended services in Worcester today and received ashes on their forehead. Bishop McManus said Mass today in Worcester. He says today is a day to celebrate the start of the Easter season and share a message of peace.
Generations have given the faithful season of Lent for three purposes: to repent, to do works of penance, to do works of almsgiving, and to care for those people less fortunate than ourselves. So really it's a question to, as I said in my homily, to look at our lives and see how our relationship with God and the church is actually, and what can we do with God's grace to improve upon that relationship.
This year, Easter falls on April 16th. The English word Lent is a shortened form of the Old English word Lenten, which means